Bald Eagle says, if the account was left on a PC or device that was on Nick's and it was a combined consent, no. They do say don't leave your account on a device you don't own for this reason. No, that's not implied. No. Would you, okay, think about it reasonably. Would you expect somebody to have access to your stuff because you went on their computer once that you can access everything, including privileged emails with his attorney? Come on, man. Come on. 18 USC 2511, interception and disclosure of wire. So this is kind of, wire fraud, right? So you've got here, in intentionally intercepting, endeavor to intercept or procure any wire, oral, or electronic communication, right there. That's it too. That's it too. Boom. You're done. If you disclose any communication to any other person, intentionally, it's clearly intentional, right? This is crazy. Also, here's another one. Intentionally endeavoring to disclose any wire, etc., knowing or having known the information was obtained through the interception of communication in connection with a criminal investigation. Nick is being investigated criminally. Or having obtained or received the information in connection with a criminal investigation with the intent to improperly obstruct, impede, or interfere with a duly authorized criminal investigation. Nick is fucked. Now, Melton, so people say, well, Melton didn't do it. Well, here's the thing. There's something called in cahoots, right? In cahoots, meaning you are in on it as part of that, right? So these are things like, attempt, but more importantly, conspiracy, right? If you are engaging in a criminal conspiracy, and I think it was the Keno Casino that came up with the term, the Rekieta crime family. I love that. It's so great. If the godfather of the Baldo, Nicholas Robert Rekieta, is telling you to go out there and commit crimes, he's liable. By the way, same thing with Johnny Somali, right? So if Johnny Somali is telling his Discord to do things, that's a conspiracy. Right? If he's telling others to do it, that's a conspiracy. If he's doing things in furtherance, that's a conspiracy. And there are specific laws, it's called RICO laws, that are meant to deal with that and take down the Godfather. Right? So if people are acting on behalf of Nick, which by the way, he absolutely does, he directs his subordinates, and you know who they are at this point. It's kind of clear. He has certain surrogates that he directs them to do things and to say things. And the ones that are still doing it are clear. The washers, the sweepers. They can all be brought in to the extent that they're involved in the conspiracy, right? And to consent to the extent that there's proof of that. So there's a lot there. What was glaring with Melton is he admitted to it. He admitted to what was there. Gemma for 2 says wiretapping code. Exactly. Thank you. Brian for 99 says, even if it was all a joke, the joke will get you an interview with the FBI. Ask Marcia Stewart and General Flynn. Exactly. He's playing but this is what happens when you're on drugs. Because clearly, look, guys, what's sad about this to me is I've heard people that are on drugs. Okay. I've seen people that are on drugs. Okay. It's not good. It's extremely bad, but it's clear when somebody's on drugs. So, to me, I hear Nick's voice, and especially in that video when he was talking with Melton in the first video, he's clearly high or drunk or something. He's not sober. It's not a sober man. Okay. Todd sent me for 2. So Sesame Street really took a bad turn there. Oh boy. Richard Fitzwell says if Aaron had any lawyer comms and Nick accessed them or backed them up, what does that land? I assume possession. Well, here's the thing. If Nick is accessing them, first of all, as a lawyer, Nick could be sanctioned by the bar. So to me, it's very hard to get a lawyer disbarred. It is. And by the way, his fees have lapsed. So technically he's not an attorney. He's still a lawyer, because a lawyer means you've gone to law school. An attorney means you've not just gone to law school and passed the bar, but you're an active lawyer in good standing. So he's not an attorney, but he is technically a lawyer because he's gone to law school. So they could remove his status altogether. They could disbar him completely because he's going in intentionally and looking at his lawyer emails. So, yeah. Yeah. Rogue Wolf for 5 says, since this would come to a trial later than the drug charges, would that mean he's sentenced as a repeat offender? Are you talking about Johnny Somali, Rogue Wolf? For Johnny Somali, yes, I've talked about how in the Korean system, they very commonly have that reverse pyramid. So they'll get you on one and then another that's more severe and then more severe and more severe. And so on the subsequent charges, you're getting maxed out. That's for Johnny Somali. For Nick Rekieta, who is a nuisance streamer of his own kind, right? There's a lot of similarities between Johnny Somali and Nick Rekieta. Nick Rekieta, just at this point, he says extreme stuff for attention. And at this point, I also do fully believe he's drama farming. He also may be making some of the April posts on X, which is why I'm not covering those, because I believe some of those may be intentional drama farming, because that's pretty much all he's got left. He doesn't do legal analysis anymore. I mean, he's given that up completely, 100%. He does cooking streams and complains about his detractors and Aaron Imholt and a Nate, which, by the way, Nate the lawyer, I want to say one thing real quick, and I don't know whether Nate will watch this or not, but dude, Nate, you're a good guy, and what he said about you was fucked up, and to turn on you simply for covering things and for saying things and saying the truth is wrong. All Nate said was there was that at one point he said he was going to give us stuff above and beyond the Nate was going to give all the law tubers some cut that participated beyond just what was there. And he didn't do that. Did he super chat us? Sure, but he always super chat us. He super chat us before, he super chat us after. We super chatted him back. I gave Nick Rekieta as much money through super chats as I received from him, right? Because he would give me a super chat, I'd send him one back, right? It was like a tit for tat sort of thing, right? So it's not that there was nothing else we received, but he had no obligation to do that. He had no obligation to promise that at all. But it's just, if you promise something, you should do it, right? That's just a principle. So that's all that Nate said. And Nick got unhinged. He attacked him. He made personal attacks on him. It was just completely uncalled for. But once again, it shows the tactics that these people use. If they don't win and get their way, they switch to ad hominem and they start making personal attacks. It's really fucked up. Rogue says for 5, since this would come in the trial later than drug charges, wouldn't that mean he's sentenced as a repeat? Oh, no, sorry. It depends. If it's federal, it's a different system altogether for Nick. So I believe this is it. Oh, yeah, here we go. From Breaking Baldo News here still. Premeditated intent to engage in a conspiracy to distribute confidential information gained by illicit means. Let's see what we got here. It's been very misleading on purpose. Nobody knows shit. So he's implying that, the thing is, he thinks this is all cool. It's in his Discord, I think. But the thing is, by stating this, he's showing that he has knowledge of it. And he said, oh, I know, I've seen it, I have the information, right? Let's continue here. Literally, Aaron has been getting legal advice from Sean, and Nick could watch it all. So if this is true, which I don't think he actually was getting legal advice, so I'll have to ask Sean about this, because I actually haven't. I don't know if Sean's made a statement on this, but if he was, then this is a confession that Nick was inferring on confidential attorney-client conversations, right? This is literally snitching on himself. And then Nick would send me Aaron panic searching to see if he was defaming me. That's not panic searching. I mean, you should be educated on that, right? Aaron searching, can I be sued for defamation without being served with cease and desist? Dude, once again, what? I literally have the proposal he emailed the station. You know how no. You know how no now? You know how now? Yeah, because Nick gave it to him. So once again, just proving all of this over and over and over again. Now, Nick claims now that it didn't do it. Nick explicitly said apparently that he didn't do anything. He didn't tell him to do anything. But once again, I'm not believing a word out of Nick's mouth, because obviously Nick is not going to admit to a crime 100%. He'll do it inadvertently, but he's not going to openly say, yeah, I committed X crime. Right? So what we ultimately need, we do need the proof. We do need the evidence from the computer, right? We ultimately need to see the computer, see how it was accessed, right? Oh, somebody messaged me that Sean says he's not commenting on private conversations. Okay. Well, that's fine. Thomas Dean says, Nick's Catholic, right? As a fellow Catholic, I find him deeply disappointing. The stuff with his kids to drugs to being subsidized. He's not Catholic. I'm technically Catholic. Nick is not. Maybe you're confusing the two of us. Technically, I'm Catholic. So technically, although I would be very long overdue a confession and a communion. So I'm way overdue. It's been a minute. Nick was raised Catholic, but he is not Catholic at the moment. Definitely not practicing. Yeah. Roan Harushan. Yeah, and by the way, I was raised Protestant. I was raised Methodist, right? My story, I've told it before. I was at one point engaged, and that person wanted to always have a Catholic wedding. So that's why I did the class to do the conversion, and the bishop came over and gave me the special oil and the conversion ceremony, right? But yeah. Actually, worse than that, Nick is going to be the Ethan Ralph of the LawTube sphere. And, there's a lot of talk, too, about him controlling people and him, him kind of taking over stuff. And to me, when I thought of that, I think that Nick looks a lot like a Mr. Jones over here. Because there was a talk about April not having internet, kind of being isolated, having to keep allegiance to the dear leader. Okay, here it is. Now, I will mention one last thing. This is more for the lulz. In case you didn't know, some stuff also went down with one of Rekieta's allies, Mr. Rage Pig over here. But there was a little incident right here that was kind of funny. Let's play this. This is a funny moment here.
By the way, retweet this.
Oh,
I just tagged.
This is a funny moment.
LawTube Sean, the fat fucker, and I said your fat ass is next.
In case you guys haven't seen this one.
We want to start cases on everybody for internet
this
bullshit.
Is just
okay,
absolutely insane.
All right, if that's the way you got.
Fearless men who jump and
if that's the way you got.
Men who mean just what they say. The brave men.
If that's the way you got.
Till the wind up on their chests.
Oh boy, feet up in the air. Oh, revenge of the chair. All for talking shit about our boy LawTube Sean. For as he's talking smack, karma hits him in the face, right? Mwah, perfect. I love it when people just they get it, instant karma. That is instant karma. Instant karma. And you hear the bottles in the back, because those bottles, in case you guys don't know, they're filled with urine. It's absolutely, because he doesn't get up, so they just fills them with urine and leaves them behind him. So absolutely great, absolutely hilarious. People in the chat, sweet, yeah. It's a good moment. But our Rekieta ally here, Mr. Ralph, who's down there in Mexico, he's now got Meme Copium covered this. So shout out to Josh. He has a nationwide body warrant for him, a nationwide warrant to execute against him anywhere in the U.S. They will take him and haul him off to Minnesota. So if he goes to California to see his son, I believe Xander, at the border, they would grab him, because they have these databases nationwide, so it's everywhere. Then the border agents have this. Grab him, haul him off to the jail. Minnesota would fly people out. They'd fly him back, and they drag him there before the judge. And that is all because he was given access to the court streams, told not to stream it though. He had access. And he indeed did stream it. Right? Gotta love it. Gotta love to see it. Right? He has several kids? Okay. Well, I didn't know that part.